What's up, Vicente? How you doing?
Good, all good. Just training and getting ready for my fight.
Well, it is a big fight as well. UFC 296,
Yeah.
final one of the year. And your opponent, I know you know him well. I know you used to share the mats together. And he's the talk of the town right now. What do you make of all of this? Because you're going to fight him, and typically that would be an opponent. The opponent will be someone that's going to talk crap. And I actually said on my YouTube channel recently, I said, I think Ian's lucky because Vicente doesn't seem like the type of guy to talk that kind of shit. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're definitely right. You know, honestly, I'm not even really into what all is going on because I've always kind of tried to, I look at this sport and I see it as a sport. I understand that there's so much more to it. There's all the way that the guys sell the fights, what the fans, all the fans, all that hype that is created. But for me, it has always been a sport. It has always been about going in there and really putting on a show. That's how I sell my fights. That's why I believe that a lot of the fans are always looking, after whenever I'm going to fight, they're really looking forward to that. So for me, it has always been about that.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Vicente. My laptop just acted weird for a second, but I could hear you. Obviously, he is a tremendously talented kickboxer, and he's having a great run. 6-0 in the UFC, 3 decisions, 3 finishes. I don't expect you to go into your game plan too much, but the welterweight division's on fire, and this fight card's kind of like a big highlight for the welterweight division. Obviously, Leon and Colby, Shavkat and Wonderboy, yourself and Ian Garry. If you go out there and get the job done, where do you think this puts you? And given the other fights that are happening, do you think you'll get one of the winners of them? Potentially, Shavkat. Well, you train with Shavkat, right?
Yeah. We're training a lot for this fight, but it's I've been talking to a lot of guys, and KillCliff is a great team. What we do has been working. So training with each other and with guys that are at the top just makes us sharper and sharper. But the consequence is eventually we're going to have to fight each other. So Shavkat, I look at a guy that definitely has, all the potential to go for a title fight and everything. And that's what I see, eventually for a title or for an eliminator, we're going to have to face each other. As I said before, the only guy I will not face is Gilbert Burns because we're brothers, much more than only teammates. But the other guys is something that we can't avoid. Now I'm fighting Ian, which we trained here together for a while. So, yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. And I think it's great to be in this card, moving with the division. It's going to be a big night for the welterweight division. The title is going to be, decided again. We'll see if Leon is going to keep that title. I believe he is going to keep it. And that's going to be an interesting night to see how we move from here. I know that Bilal is there, hasn't fought, wants a title fight. And I'm looking forward, to get a big dominant win against a guy in Ian, which is the up and coming prospect, and try to steal, the show and maybe jump. Now it's a perfect moment to get a big jump in the division and try to get in that mix for the title.
Do you think? Well, first of all, before I ask you that, recently I partnered with a company called Legacy Precious Metals. Now, I know a lot of people are going through tough times right now, but if you are fortunate enough to where you have a few dollars left over every month to think about investing, then maybe investing in gold and silver through Legacy Precious Metals might be for you. Now, the stock market, if you follow that stuff, it's all over the place. In fact, it's plummeting right now. But precious metals, they've always held their value or even increased. So, of course, that's something that we're all interested in. Does it have to be a lot of money? It can just be a little bit because it all adds up over time. Now, if you click the link, there is a guide there. It'll tell you all about investing in gold and silver, or you can give them a call and they will answer all of your questions at 866-933-0317. What do you think about that main event? Leon versus Colby. It's a clash of styles. You could argue that Leon beat the guy that Colby couldn't beat twice. But who do you think is victorious in the main event?
I think it's a tricky fight because of the time that Colby has, stayed off of fighting. And yeah, a lot of guys say, oh, but he has done that before and he always came back strong and good. That's true, but age is coming, he's getting older and that's a factor. So for me, it just makes sense to see Leon beating Kamaru 2 times in spectacular fashion. He is still young. He's still evolving. He's still hungry. He's just become champion. And everybody, I think anybody that is going to fight Colby is going to go hungry into a fight like that, because Colby is not the kind of opponent you just, you don't get excited for. You do get excited to beat a guy like that. So I just feel the momentum is better for Leon, and I would go with his win. I just think he has a better timing right now.
What do you think of Colby? Because obviously, I mean, you're Brazilian, right? And we know what he said down in Brazil years ago. And he's very brash and he talks a lot of shit and all the rest of it. But I've met him when he's just being Colby, not Colby, the character. And I don't know if he was, putting an act on there as well, but I found him to be a very, very nice guy. What is your opinion?
I don't know him personally. And the truth is, like, I have respect for everybody. Each one chooses their own path. Some guys are going to be different than what they are personally so that they could get, maybe more views and sell the fights better. I'm not a guy like that. I believe I got to be true to who I am and to what I believe. So all I can say is, like, the personality I see, I don't appreciate. I don't like Colby, the way that he sells fights, the things he talks. I cannot, appreciate that. I respect him as a person and I wish him well. But, it's a guy that I would love to fight, just to go out there and clash those two styles. I'm a guy that believes in hard work and just talking inside the octagon. He's the opposite. We can go there and see who does it better.
This is why I said Ian Garry is so lucky that he's fighting you, because you are a class act. I'm not kissing your ass. You know what I mean? You're like, it's not for me. Other people could have said a lot of harsher words. So in KillCliff, on a good day, there'll be you. There used to be Ian Garry. There'll be Shavkat. Who else? There used to be Kamaru. Who else?
He was there today. So Kamaru still goes there every once in a while. Yeah. He has for a while now. He has been back, and I saw him sparring before he fought Hamzat. He went over there and sparred. So Kamaru, we have guys from other shows like Jason Jackson that just got the Bellator title. We have Logan Storley, which was interim champion in Bellator as well. A lot of welterweights, a lot of good. Li Jingliang sometimes is here as well. Yeah. The Chinese guy that fought Ian Garry a while back.
Oh,
here. So there are a lot of. Yeah, I don't remember. That's him. Yeah. So there's a lot of welterweights over here.
Yeah.
And I think that's Andre Fialio is another guy too. So yeah, there's a lot of talent, and I just feel like, for me, it's since the days of Black Zillions, because that's when I worked with Henry, with Greg Jones, since those times, and it has always made sense to have such amazing guys, like so much talent in the same room working together. It wasn't at times hard to deal with it. Like Black Zillions, there was a lot of ego, a lot of big guys, big names training together. That was hard to deal with it. But I feel like Henry and Greg, they just really managed to learn how to work through it and really bring a team together that we're family and we're always trying to help each other. And obviously, like, sometimes we're going to have fights, like Kamaru ended up fighting Gilbert, and that was a hard situation. Now I'm going to be fighting Ian, but we try to work the best way through it. And hopefully eventually, these guys can come back if they want to. Like Kamaru now is back training with us and having a good time.
Yeah, and Henry Hooft, I mean, what a legend of a guy. I've never trained with him, and I don't know him particularly well, but, being on the road with the UFC, we've shared a few conversations. Great guy. So Leon's going to beat Colby, in your opinion. I'm assuming you think Shavkat's going to beat Wonderboy, which is going to be a great fight. I'm assuming you think you're going to beat Ian Garry.
Yes, you assume me everything right.
How are you going to beat Ian Garry? What's going to happen? Well, I don't expect you to give strategy, but when your hand gets raised or if a stoppage happens, in what fashion will the stoppage come?
And I believe this is going to be a really exciting fight. I don't see it any other way, because It's just the styles, you know. I'm an aggressive fighter. Even whenever I go to the ground, I'm still looking to ground and pound to submit. Just really, I don't know how to fight at a different pace than going out there and really pushing the pace. Ian has shown to be, you know, the same kind of fighter, the guy that is gonna be walking forward. Sometimes he walks back, but still makes it exciting. Kind of Wonder Boy back in the day when he was a great, you know, counter puncher and everything. So I feel like it is going to be a really exciting fight. I do believe I have the tools to finish him either standing or on the ground. So that's gonna be the mystery. Where am I gonna find it? You know, and it's gonna be a lot to do with how the fight goes on, what his approach is gonna be to the fight, because it's different. Like, we've trained with each other, we kind of know certain things about each other, but a fight is a fight. You know, I've trained with so many people, and sometimes I do well, sometimes I do bad, but that really many times is not what is going to be in the fight. So I try not to base myself out of our trainings. I feel like I really want to go in there, see what he's going to present to me, and be ready for everything, you know, be ready to strike against him. Maybe, who knows, maybe he's going to try to take me down. If I hit him hard with something, you know, he's going to try to surprise me. So I'd rather stay ready and bring the action and push the pace than try to, like, okay, I'm just going to run him over wherever I think, you know, I might think.
So Brendan was just on, as you know. I would ask, and he told me that he saw somebody with a punch put him to sleep. I would ask you who that was, but I know you're not going to say. So
I can tell you it was not me.
But it will be you on December 16th.
Yes, hopefully. Hopefully it will be me on December 16th. If I find that hand and connect it.
Here's what I want to know. Has anyone ever said that you sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No.
Bro, give me a get to the chopper.
Wait, let's see.
Gilligan.
Hasta la vista, baby.
You definitely sound a little bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Your sound is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you look a little bit like an old school Dean Lister.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
Maybe when I retire, I can do some action movies.
Okay. Listen, Vicente, pleasure talking to you. This is the first time we've spoken like this, so it is truly a pleasure. I've been an admirer and a fan of your work for a long time. What is, you know, tell the people something that we might not know about you. Do you have children? Are you a family man?
Yeah, so I have one son. He's 2 years old, 2.5 right now. I'm married, and, you know, I think some people know I've started to share on my YouTube. So I started a YouTube about a little more than a year ago, and I'm trying to share a lot of my two passions outside of fighting that are motorsports. So I love cars, and I go to the track myself and drive and kind of race, and also cooking. So I love food. I love eating. Now it's a hard time because I'm cutting weight. I stay like thinking about food all the time, but it's something I like to do as well. So yeah, those are curiosities about
what is the YouTube channel?
YouTube is Vicente Luque. And you can find it,
And what is the signature dish? If I'm coming over to your place and you're trying to impress me, or if you wasn't married, before you were married, before you met your wife, she was coming over and you wanted to cook something super special, what would that be?
I didn't know it because I learned that only after, but sourdough pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's really good.
I would have thought something a bit fancier. I mean, don't get me wrong, sourdough pizza is beautiful.
No, yeah, it's the sourdough is the fancy part of it.
No,
and it's Neapolitan style, so it's like that really thin crust.
Yeah.
What's
the toppings? What's the go-to?
So I do.
Don't give me none of this anchovy bullshit.
Yeah, no. I like one that it doesn't have red sauce, but it has pesto sauce, and then I do with blue cheese, mozzarella cheese, and then I'll improvise. Sometimes I do goat cheese or some other kind of cheese and basil.
Well, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Well.
Good. And you can put some prosciutto on it too.
If he gets the job done. Listen, brother, thank you for your time today. All the best in the fight on December 16th. Thank you very much, and talk to you soon.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Take care.
My man. Thank you, brother.